it's Bunny, and today I am going to be ranking Miraculous Ladybug characters based on how well they are written. So in a way, it's almost going to be like from an author's perspective, because I do like to write, but I wouldn't exactly consider myself a qualified author, so I'm not going to be saying that. It's just from a writer's perspective. Wait, then I'm saying I'm an author. Okay. What I'm trying to say is I am going to be ranking these miraculous characters based on how well they are written and the purpose they serve in the show, along with what I think they will do in the future. So far, I have 4 categories. They're all colored differently than they were before because I am recording this intro after I've already finished the entire video because I have to re-record the intro. So I'm sorry if that throws you off a bit. I thought I'd just say that. The I Know Nothing category is for characters that really don't seem fair to rank because, I don't even know who this is. It's characters who are more minor that I don't even remember their names or just appear once or twice, and I feel like it's not fair to rank them based on how well they are written because they just don't serve much of a purpose. So I am just going to get into that. Spoiler alert, and buckle up, this is going to be a long video. Also, if you don't agree with my opinions, that's okay. Let me know your comments on your opinions in the comments. What am I saying? Your opinions in the comments down below. And I'm just gonna get into the video. Okay, so first one is Marinette. I think Marinette is a very solid character. I think both her confidence as Ladybug and her in a way, inconfidence as Marinette gives her character, and I really like the fact that she has all this pressure on her shoulders and what she's going through, especially in season 4. It's almost like, in a way, she's growing up, she's learning to make different decisions, and I think her character development throughout mainly season 4 has been definitely something I've appreciated. So I think I'm going to put her in very well written because I really like Marinette. Okay, next is Tikki. I feel like Tikki does serve a pretty solid purpose. She's there to advise Marinette and help her when she's down, but now that I feel like we have Alya for that, Tikki doesn't have as much of a role anymore. I'm not sure about Tikki. I do think overall she's pretty well written with the way she acts, her personality, the part she plays in the show, but I'm not sure if everything she does is incredibly essential. I do think that she's a really good friend to Marinette as well as Kagami, and she sort of gives superpowers, so I think I'm going to put her in at least good writing. Okay, Adrien. I don't know. I feel like Adrien is, as well, a very good written character. Now that I think about it, he does have his traits with Cat Noir in the way he has his mom. If you take away the things that sort of happen to him and stuff like that, it doesn't exactly make him boring, but it does take away a lot of what makes Adrien Adrien, because I feel like a big part of his character is the things that have happened to him in terms of his parents dying, Gabriel being a complete jerk, but I do think that has shaped his personality. And I also think that his interest in being Cat Noir and the way and his loyalty to Ladybug, especially the fact that it's wavering in season 4, has given him a lot of character development. And just in general, I think that Adrien is a very good character if you put aside how dense and blind he can be sometimes. Though, I mean, all in all, it's not even blinder than Marinette. So I think I'm going to give him a very well-written rank, as they are both, as well, the 2 main protagonists. Okay, Plagg. I have mixed feelings about Plagg in terms of, if he's written well or not, because I honestly feel that he doesn't serve much of a purpose in the show except to A, provide comic relief, and B, be super funny. I am kind of interested in what happened with the dinosaurs and the Titanic. I mean, did Plagg really do all that? I don't know. He seems powerful enough. He feels like a bomb just waiting to explode. But all in all, I don't think he has a lot of change in his character. I don't think he serves that much of a purpose in the story other than comic relief. So I think I'm going to put him in Could Be Better. Okay, Nooroo. I am definitely interested in Nooroo's story in terms of how he got to Hawkmoth, what he does, and his personality, not wanting to be evil, but we really just don't know enough to rank him fairly, so I'm just gonna put him in the I know nothing category because I don't know, I feel like I can't rank him fairly. Okay, Alya. I do think that she is a fairly well-written character. She's made to be Marinette's best friend, and she definitely serves that purpose as well as being a trustworthy ally in Reina Rouge. So I think that's good about her. I also really like the way her personality is so different than Marinette. It's like night and day, and yet she still managed to be such good friends, and I think she has an important role in this story. At the same time, her thinking can be a bit irrational, but that's okay. I think that's just something I have to take with her character. It's the good and the bad. So I think I'm going to put her in, I need to add another rank right here. She can go here. I don't know what I'm going to call this rank. I'll just leave it blank. I know what it is. This color. I think I'm also going to add another rank here to balance it out. And Plagg's gonna go there. Okay, Nino. Honestly, with Nino, I do feel that he, in a way, is not very well written. Like, he changes a lot to a point where, especially in Senti Bubbler to other episodes, he feels incredibly different, and I don't know. I also feel like he does not serve much of a purpose in the show. I'm not very intrigued into his story, so I think I'm going to put it in Could Be Better. Okay, Zoe. So, you guys all know I love Zoe to death, but my problem with her is the fact that she just went in and replaced Chloe, because I feel like, I guess that's a problem with Chloe, not really with Zoe, so I shouldn't be talking about that. I'll talk about that later. But I think overall, Zoe is a very well-written character. Not, like, as in top rank, but I think that her backstory, the feeling she goes through, how she just shapes and molds to be what everyone else wants her to be, is a very real part of peer pressure. And I think that she does demonstrate some very good traits in her kindness. And I really like Zoe's character in terms of both character development and just her overall personality. But I don't think she's going to be a big part of the show going on forward, because she is just not a classmate, but she plays a similar role to a classmate as Mylene and Juleka, and I don't think she's really going to get much time to shine after her acclimatization episode, and because of that, I'm going to put her and Alya in this unnamed rank. Lila. So a lot of people are going to have a problem with this, but I actually think Lila is terribly written. I don't think she adds anything to the story. I do not want her to be the next Hawkmoth, and it's not just because I hate her, which I do, but it's also because I feel that while she could definitely be important to the plot, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why do people believe her lies? Why does she lie in the first place? It's just, we don't know anything about her motives. We don't know anything about her as a person. Why is she like this? Why is she so cruel? And I just feel like we're not given much to make her even slightly likable or even be good enough to be used as a plot device. At least with Gabriel for a villain, we know his motives. Lila is just like her lies are kind of lame, no offense. How does she have a rare disease that makes her make up things that she didn't actually say? I mean, she doesn't even have a name for that. And it's pretty obvious she doesn't have a tinnitus or a sprained wrist, because if you have a sprained wrist, you usually have to wrap it in some sort of bandage or something. And I just feel like Lila and Marinette would not push her down the stairs. And the fact that Alya believes her lies, the fact that everybody believes her lies, but like Adrien and Marinette, is just kind of lame and stupid. And I don't like Lila in that way. I don't think she's well written. It doesn't make sense. Also, why doesn't she have a doctor's note for all this stuff all these conditions that she has? It's seriously ridiculous. So I think Lila is terribly written, and I'm just gonna put her in the bottom category. It's okay if you don't agree with me on that. Some people think Lila is incredibly well written, but that's just my opinion. Okay, Felix, we see him in one episode, but I do think that he is overall well written, and I think that he does have a lot going for him in the future, so I'm very excited to see what the future has for him. So I'm gonna put him in good writing. Mylene. I do like her fear and her sweetness, but overall she doesn't have very much other than the fact that she's the new holder of the Mask Miraculous and she's dating Ivan. Because, I mean, she's not going to serve much of a part in the story overall because she is just one of the classmates. So I'm going to put her in could be better. I really like Juleka. As I mentioned before, the way her shyness, she's more reserved and introverted, but at the same time, her dream is to be a model, which is possibly one of the least introverted jobs you can choose. And I think that makes her as a very interesting character, and I do want to follow her story and her growing confidence and her ability to find her voice. So I'm going to put her in good writing. Alix. Okay. I think Alix has a lot going for her. I think that her role as Bunnix and the current Alix is incredibly significant. She is a huge plot device, and she could definitely move along the story, break, or take it. That doesn't make sense. I feel like most of what I say doesn't make sense. I don't know. Because I never script my videos because I'm kind of too lazy. I might just be a lazy YouTuber, but I don't know. But I'm going to put Alix in very well written, because I think that she has a lot in the future, a lot of significance in the story. I mean, if it wasn't for her, the world would literally be gone right now. So I think she deserves the top rank. Kagami. Okay, I honestly don't think Kagami is well written. While I get the whole she has a bad parent, she is Adrien's girlfriend for a time, I also don't understand. I feel like her personality is always jumping from being a good person to a bad person to being like Adrien's girlfriend. It just does not make sense. And like how she seems like perfectly decent, and then she's like, Adrien, you're perfect and stuff, and her whole obsession with lies. I don't find her to be a good well-written character, so I'm gonna put her in could be better. Okay, so next we have Luka. I feel that Luka is an amazingly written character. I think he does have a lot going for him with his dad, but he still manages to have this amazing sense of kindness and music, and he knows how to treat everyone the way that they are meant to be treated. And I really like that about him. I also think that overall his significance in the plot is incredibly important, especially given that, spoiler alert, he found both of Marinette and Adrien's identities out in Wishmaker, and I definitely think it is incredibly important to have him in the story. So I think I'm going to put him in very well written, because both his personality and role and looks and everything is just on point. Kim, I think Kim is terribly written. I feel like his personality is always just changing so much. I feel like he doesn't play an important role in the plot or anything. Okay, Sabrina. Sabrina, we don't see very much of her true personality and how she is when Chloe is not around. So, for that, because of that, I think I'm going to have to put her in Could Be Better. Because honestly, I'd really love to see more of Sabrina as her true self when Chloe is not there to egg on her and bug her. But maybe she's just like that. I mean, I wish she would stand up for herself. I don't think Sabrina is a very well-written character. Okay, Rose. I personally really like Rose, and I really like the plot line about her disability and all that, or her sickness. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I think that was pretty good writing. I wish they told us what she had, but maybe they couldn't think of anything that fits some films. But overall, I think that Rose could definitely be better written, because she just doesn't play that much of a role in a way to make her significant enough to, I guess, have a backstory. So I guess that makes sense. But then again, I don't know. I think I'm going to put her with Plagg in this section. Chloe. I have a lot to say about Chloe. I know a lot of people, you either love her or you hate her, honestly. But I think I am somewhere in between. I think Chloe is pretty well written at the beginning, but then her redemption arc is just scrapped, which I hate so much. And then Zoe comes in, and you know how much I love Zoe. But I think that Chloe overall is not a very good person. I know you could argue that her upbringing made her like this, and Audrey was always like this, and she just wanted to be loved by her mom. In a similar way than Zoe, she just wanted to be loved, and it shaped her into a different type of person. But Chloe, I do feel that she could have resisted that. I think that she could have felt the need to change, especially when people like Ladybug, when people give her a chance. And I do think that she could have been a better person. I really wish that they hadn't just scrapped everything in her redemption arc and just made her join Hawkmoth, but also don't quite think it was her fault for joining Hawkmoth, as she was akumatized. We see how many good people get akumatized. And I do feel that Chloe as a person could definitely be better, but in terms of her writing, I think she is incredibly well written, if only they hadn't just stopped her redemption arc. So I think I can put her up here with Zoe and Alya, because she fits into that rank. We don't see enough of him. I don't know why he's there. Gabriel. Again, I have quite a bit to say about Gabriel. I find him to be incredibly confusing, honestly. It doesn't make sense why he's always like, I will evilize you, and all that stuff, when he wouldn't believe he's evil. With his motive, he doesn't think it's an evil motive at all, to think about it. But then he acts like it is. It just doesn't really make sense. Sometimes he's just like, I will evilize you, I am evil, I will terrorize all of Paris. And that's his motive, like, especially in the beginning. But then, like, this whole thing with Emilie comes in, and it doesn't even make much sense. Then why would he be terrorizing? It just doesn't make sense, honestly. But in the end, if you just ignore all that, it just feels like he could be better. But at the same time, his thing with Emilie is pretty good writing overall. I think I'm going to put him here because, I don't know, it does feel like the producers felt like he had to have a motive, but then they decided halfway through the story when they had already had him be evil, so they had to somehow balance that out. I'm just going to put him in overall good writing because I do think that his thing with Emilie and his hate towards Adrien is interesting in a way. Emilie. For someone who's dead, I think it's pretty good writing. They managed to make her story seem interesting. They managed to get you hooked. You want to also bring her back to life and see what she was like. So I think Emilie is a very good example of how to make a dead character exciting. Who doesn't even have any speaking lines out of that? Nathalie. Nathalie is, in my opinion, the best written character in Miraculous Ladybug. And not just because she is one of my favorites, but because to give her this dynamic in a kid's TV show, to give her the love that she can't have, the I want him to be happy type of devotion, and to give her, she's kind of mysterious as well, and the fact that she is dying for Gabriel, it's just like, it's such, honestly, the kind of aspect you'd see in an adult book rather than a kid's TV show that's rated Y7. So I think for the producers to be able to do that in a kid's TV show and still make it interesting is incredibly good. I also think the plot has a lot going for her. She has a lot of significance, not as Myra, but of the Catalyst, but also as herself. And I really like that about Nathalie. It's also kind of why she's my favorite character. But I think Nathalie is incredibly well written. Alright, so next we have the gorilla. I kind of wish they had given the gorilla more of a personality, kind of in the way they did Nathalie, but I understand that, like, he doesn't talk, so we do have to take that into account. But I really feel like the gorilla is not well written. He really doesn't have a lot of personality traits, though I do feel kind of bad for him because Gabriel does not treat him very well. But he's just Adrien's bodyguard, and I feel like, while it makes sense for Adrien to have a bodyguard and he has to fill that place, he has really no significance whatsoever in the storyline, or in even, I don't even know what he's supposed to be doing. I don't think he's going to have, like, a role in the future at all. So I think I'm just going to put him in the bottom category. Okay, Audrey. So in Soul Crusher, we see that Audrey can be, in fact, capable of being a loving, nice parent. And then we see in Mendeleiev that he just wants to cut down all the trees. So I think he has an incredibly inconsistent character. It's changing all the time, and I really don't like that about him. I feel like if they just gave him one personality and stuck to that, then that would be good. I also wish he had the ability to stand up against Chloe, his daughter, because she shouldn't have complete control over him and what he does. And so I feel like if he was a good person, he'd know that what he's doing is wrong. And I think that it's just like, he's so inconsistent. And I don't like that about him. Audrey. I mean, I guess she's a well-written character if I think about it, but at the same time, I feel like she just doesn't have many good traits. She's just like Chloe. She's a mirror image of Chloe, who has hurt Chloe and scarred her for life and made her to be like this. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess she's well written. I just feel like there's no significance in her. I don't know. I think I'll put her with Plagg and Rose, because kind of like Rose and Plagg, they're there for comedic relief, and she just does not have much significance. Jagged Stone is hilarious, and I do think that overall he is a well-written character, but it doesn't make sense why he's a rock star that's touring all over the world but stays only in Paris. But ignoring that, I think Jagged Stone overall is a pretty well-written character. So I think he can go in the good writing section. I think I'm going to drop Emilie down a rank, because I feel that she is not on the same level as Chloe, Zoe, and Alya. Okay, Master Fu. So, he has played an important role. His wisdom, his backstory, I think is all incredibly well written, and I do like that about him, along with being very funny and hilarious. He also brought Ladybug and Cat Noir together. He chose very well for Miraculous Soldiers. So I think, along with his past, makes him interesting as well. So I think I'm going to put him in this section. The unnamed light blue section. I don't know what to call that because I did not name it. Okay. I don't know. I feel like she's not given time of day. She's not given a backstory that really intrigues me. I think that, I mean, she's just Master Fu's wife. That's really her only role. Though she did take him losing his memory incredibly well. Like, she understood what happened. She didn't, like, the fact that she was able to go through that is pretty amazing. I think but also I don't think she plays a good role at all. She doesn't have much of a purpose, so I'm gonna put her in this section. Like a good character, but not really used for much. I have no idea how to pronounce this name, so I just won't, or I don't even remember what his name was. I'm not very good with Miraculous Characters' names. I know all their faces and their roles, but not their names. So I feel that, yeah, I don't even remember his name. He didn't play an important role, even in the episode Furious Foo. I feel that he just did not play a role that needed to be noted. And I mean, sure, he's watching Ladybug now and he might come back to help them at some point, but at the same time, it sort of makes sense, but it doesn't. So I think I'm also going to put him in this section. Okay, Mr. Damocles. I mean, I guess he's well written, but again, I think he is just for comic relief. And it doesn't make much sense why he is the principal if he's going to just be bribed by Chloe into doing, like, all these ridiculous things and believing Lila and then, like, also pretending to be the owl. I don't know what it is about Mr. Damocles, but he could definitely be better. Okay, Miss Bustier. I really like Miss Bustier. I love her potential to see, her ability to see the potential in everybody and the good with the bad, and to put up with that ridiculous class and Marinette and Adrien, who are always absent regardless whenever there's an Akumatai, and that she still doesn't notice that. But I do think that Miss Bustier is a pretty well-written character. She's just that teacher that everybody likes, so I think I'm going to put her in this section because, again, she really doesn't serve much of a purpose, but overall her personality and her intentions come through. Miss Mendeleiev, again, we don't see enough of her, and I feel like she could serve more of a purpose, but not really. She's more just like kind of that crazy mad scientist teacher. So I think she definitely could be better. I think Nadja Chamack is a good thing for the show. She's like all the superhero. She's the news reporter. She's definitely essential to the show. I think overall she has pretty good writing. So I think I'll put her up here in good writing. Alec. Okay, Alec was kind of confusing me. He didn't seem like too bad of a guy at first. He seemed kind of like the annoying TV announcer. But then he started making like a video in Wishmaker about like top 10 useless jobs and then just basically roasting everyone's jobs, and they ended up like proving him wrong, and then he got upset and stuff and got akumatized. I don't think he should have been running that show in the first place. I sort of understand more of why now that we know how he was made fun of and stuff when he was a child. So I think that I'll put Alec in good writing. Okay, I don't understand why he gets akumatized so many times because of all his pitches. I mean, I guess it's technically Gabriel's fault, because, I mean, why would you akumatize this man 72 times? Can't you see that it's not working? But that's more of Gabriel. I feel like he's just there. Mr. Ramier is just there for comic relief, so I'm gonna put him in could be better, because I feel like he's just does not do anything. Andre, the ice cream man. I think Andre does have a good amount of plot significance. The way he brings couples together with his ice cream, and his ice cream does symbolize different aspects and different things, and I do think that is important for the story. So I think I will put him in the good writing section. Okay, Ladybug, I already ranked Marinette, so I'm just going to leave her here. Aeon. I think I don't know if it's pronounced like that. I'm sorry for any mispronunciations of the word mispronunciation, or any of the names. I'm not very good at pronouncing things, especially names that are French, so I don't don't know. I do think that she is a pretty solid character. The fact that she's an android, robot android, I guess android. She's technically an android. And I think that that's overall pretty good writing. Her personality, her role she plays in the story, the fact that she like sees so well that Ladybug and Cat Noir are made for each other, but also just because she's a really kind character. As an android, I feel like she could have been mean, but she is incredibly kind, and I know she was made to be that way, but I do think she also is a part. Also, the whole part of that quantum masking opens up a good deal of places for plot holes, so I am curious to see what they're going to do about that, though I do feel that it doesn't make very much sense, because Senti monsters should just be able to see right through the quantum masking if it only works on human eyes. Because, I mean, Senti monsters would be able to see through it, right? And then Gabriel could just create a Senti monster and it would just go find Ladybug and Cat Noir and tell them who they were. I don't know why he hasn't done that yet. But then again, people in this show are pretty blind. So overall, I think I am going to put her in the good writing section. Jess. Okay, I feel like Jess is kind of funny, but she also didn't serve too much of a purpose in the New York special. I guess she did. She was the eagle after all. I think I'm gonna also put her in good writing. Okay, Faye. I think Faye is wonderfully written. I think that her backstory, her justice over revenge, the way she behaves, and it's just all very intriguing. And again, for this to be in a kids show, it's just amazing. I think that Faye is one of the best written characters in the entire Miraculous series. It's unfortunate that she only appears in the Shanghai special. But Jeremy Zag has said that there might be a Lady Dragon spinoff, so I have my hopes up. I shouldn't get my hopes up. I always get my hopes up and then it doesn't happen. Oh well. Moving on. Last but least is, I don't even know his name. I completely forgot. But this guy, who is a complete jerk. He ruined Faye's life. I hate him so much, but I have to admit, he's pretty well written. So that is my final ranking. Thank you for watching this super long video. If you don't agree with me, then that's okay. Tell me your opinions in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!